I'm just coming back on here to see how people felt after that amount of breath work. We were listening to the frequency of 528 hertz, rose gold flame, bringing inner peace to any chaos that might be going on. That could be in the external world or what was felt internally, which is why we get together at 11:11 Pacific time daily and we breathe together. Majority of the days we breathe, and then there's possibly a message that comes through also. So hello, welcome. I'm going to prepare the space again. This is just one way that I prepare the space and create an energetic field, allowing only those energies that are of the highest light to enter. Can you still hear it? I think we lost most of the people that were chatting. So, I would like to pick a card. Let's see what is coming up and what is coming through. We're going to do this deck right here. This is Sacred Rebels. It's one of my favorites. It's one that as I started incorporating silent haircuts, it was like a real go-to initially. It was one of the first decks I was playing with. You have answers within you. And sometimes with all the distractions, ooh, here it is, with all the distractions in life, it's great to have a tool to bring those answers out as well, to allow those answers to come to you in a different way. And that's all that oracle cards are. Tarot cards also. It's really all they are. People think it's fortune telling and, you know, all of that. Hello, THC Who. Good to have you here. I was just live and my video froze. We did some breath work there, so definitely check that on the replay. It'll be available tomorrow. It has to do with bringing inner peace to the chaos. That could be around you or within you. I will have a website soon so that people can actually book with me through there for silent haircuts. It's about a 2-hour session, the silent haircuts. It's a chance for a person to get very mindful for a moment in their day instead of the traditional going to a hairdresser and everything being about what happened to you or what happened to the hairdresser. It's all about actually getting quiet, getting centered, being able to have a scalp massage in silence. We always speak about what is needed for the haircut itself, but then there's a moment of silence. There's a time of silence where I get to be fully present and create that which you were looking for. Usually people bring me pictures or they have a good idea of what they don't want, which also helps. And then after the haircut, we pull some cards. There's some cards beforehand, and there are messages that come through that are just messages that are deep within you. So that's what I do with you here on this channel. Occasionally we pick cards. So here we go. I'm doing great today. How are you guys? All right, so the cards that came out, and this is a little different This happened yesterday when I came on here just shortly for a live. Always at 11:11 Pacific time, no matter where I'm at least currently, that's the way it's working. So here are the cards that came in today, and instead of doing what I normally do, which is feel into them and seeing what comes through from like me, I am now stepping aside. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this card came up again like a week ago. Relax the hold of darkness and be the cause. So, if I were to feel into this card, let me just kind of get centered. What is this? What do we need to know about relax into the cause? For everyone here live and then later on the replay. Yeah, okay. Tornadoes came up this morning. A whirlwind. Being the center of the storm, being the eye. Being the eye. Connecting to the center. Allowing your inner vision to guide you. Can you be the pause in the chaos? Can you be the silence in the storm? There is something for all of you in being able to be in the shadow as much as the light. When you allow yourself to feel into the shadow aspects that arise for you in your daily life, you are your own witness. Here, as your own witness, there is no judgment, criticism, giving yourself a hard time. This is you peering into a deeper part of yourself. Allowing these shadows to arise and move through you into light. Here you are sovereign. Here there is no victimhood. Nothing is done to you. It is done for you to observe and then respond accordingly. You also, like the tornadoes that you feel, are a whirlwind in your own right. You are a whirlwind of change. The ability to be the cause, as this card puts it. You are a whirlwind. You are breaking boundaries. You are setting new paths, new ways of being. And you are adding this to your life. And as you add this to your life, you are bringing this forth for others. Whether you intend to or not, when you are able to stand within the storm, to be the stillness, you are a whirlwind of change. Change for yourself, change for humanity, and change for the planet. And we thank you for this. Yes. You may whirl out of the box. Give yourself permission to color outside the lines. Spread your wings wide. Swirl in the winds of change. Swirl with them, not against them, but with them. Flowing like the air, like the waters. Flow. Fly. Breathe. That was lovely. I'll be watching that later to see what came through. How you guys doing? I am sorry about the extra noise. Talking about the storm outside the stillness. There it is. All right. So this is interesting. Collaborative dreaming. I've never actually pulled this card before. It's unusual. Looks like there's some light language within the card itself. Collaborative dreaming. Let's see what comes through for this. I'm curious. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. You are living in the dream. A world that feels very real and yet lies in illusion. A world that feels separateness, a being felt of not being included, not being a part of. And this, herein lies the illusion. You are part of all that is. The more that you remember this, the more that you can look at another and see their soul essence, whether that is in passing by, a nod, a smile, a small interaction, or that is with those that you care about deeply. Can you see the soul within others, the love within others? As you come to see this within others, you also recognize this within yourself. You have been taught not to love yourself. You have been taught that it is selfish. You have been taught to give all that you have and not wanting anything in return. This is a dissonance of energy. You are meant to work with others. labeling an introvert and an extrovert, you will find that inclusion is the way to expansion. Collaboration is the way to expansion. Love. Love is the divinity within you. As you breathe, you connect to the divinity within. You collaborate with the soul that you are. You collaborate with the divine itself, the all that there is, the God particle within you, the all spark, the divine in human form. You are heaven on earth. It may not feel this way as you look around, but indeed you are where heaven meets earth. Connect with those around you. Connect with one you wouldn't normally connect with by a simple hello, or opening a door for someone. How can you connect? How can you collaborate? And calibrate. Okay. Collaborate and calibrate yourselves, your soul, your highest aspect. More and more of your soul is becoming available to come within the body. And as you make space through breath, through joy, compassion, these are a couple key elements. These are ways to collaborate with who you truly are, and to have that source connection flow in and through you, being divinity in form, crystalline consciousness, also known as Christed consciousness, in form, the divine masculine, the divine feminine that resides in each of you, together in balance, in collaboration. Notice when one of these is not in balance, when there is too much doing and not enough being. Take a deep breath. And breathe out. Okay. You know what's interesting about this card? How you guys feeling? Okay, if you sent me a chat on the earlier live, go ahead and repost your question, since I can't see that on this new live. From the UK, hello. Somebody needs their hair done. All right, so one thing that's interesting about this, and this isn't as popular here in America, I will just let you know. It's more of an other side of the world kind of thing. But this came up. So, have you guys ever heard of cuddling? When someone first told me about cuddling, we all know what cuddling is between like you and your partner, but apparently it's become a thing for groups to come together, collaborating in cuddlement. Look, I just created a word, cuddlement. Good to see you too this afternoon. Okay, just occasionally looking at the comments for those who catch this on the replay. This collaborative dreaming, this is very interesting because this message came in this last summer. I was working on somebody here for a silent haircut, and he is a farmer of microgreens. And there was this message that came in of a collaboration between the skills that people bring forth, the passions that they have, and how different ones are bringing new technologies, different new ways of education has come up, different government system even, like a different way of finances. So all this was coming up. Hello, I'm doing well. Yes, I guess I didn't introduce myself on this live. I am Love. It's a pleasure to meet you. And again, we show up here every day at 11:11 Pacific time. So here, collaborative dreaming. Doesn't this kind of look like... There's light language here within the card itself. Take a look at that. A coming together of many minds, many ways. And yeah, what I heard about is generally people have, and look, then we can put it this direction. People come together without any expectation, no like, as far as I know, it's not sexual. As far as I know, it's purely for togetherness and coziness. And it's not supposed to go into those other realms. That's what this card reminds me of, interestingly enough. The person that had sent me a somatic dance that I was working with in my nervous system this morning. That was one of the things that they showed on their Instagram, was a whole bunch of their friends, like all piled in on each other and cuddling in a very not weird kind of way. And I was like, oh, that's a nice, like the way they are going about it, that's a really nice way. They like get together, they cook together. I mean, think about when you were kids and you had your friends around and you would like even wrestle around, right? Wrestle for fun, not to hurt, not to win, but just be. That came through in that other message, right? Are you doing a lot, or are you being? Like, do you have that balance between the feminine and the masculine? Collaborative dreaming. So in this card, with the collaborative dreaming, the message that came through at this other time was, with the energies and how they are now, you know how when you think of someone and then they text you or call you, and they're like, oh, I was just going to get in touch with you. Thank you for contacting me. This is going to happen more and more, and it's going to happen more and more with people who have new innovations where they're going to get like a download. Like, oh, this is where I'm going with this new technique. Say, educational. I know two people that got a similar inspiration working with children, and there is one person working on this in Maui right now with a group of children, accentuating their gifts, their clairsenses, you know, working with them on that, letting them develop that, letting them know that it's not weird if they have an imaginary friend that they're talking to, because most of the time those imaginary friends are like guides that are with us. If you're like into angels or other guides that you connect with, that's where it first happens, is as children so much that babies can see in frequency that we cannot, so much that even a young toddler can know or see, and be, what's the word, encouraged, instead of telling them that they are wrong or they're incorrect, that's not real, right? So the collaboration that's going to happen in the dream, we are in the dream right now. We've got the matrix, we've got the inverted matrix, which is more like heavy density stuff. And then we've got the higher matrix, the light matrix, the crystalline matrix, which we live in a different way. All right, any questions on this? All right. So that's what came through today. Collaborative dreaming. Hello, man, sir. And relax the hold of darkness and be the cause. You are the light within the darkness. So if things are feeling a little dark in your world, decide to flip on the switch. Do you ever notice that when you go into a dark room and you flip on the switch, darkness recedes and there's only light? In this, there may be someone in your life, some venture you're possibly going for, that collaboration would not only make things easier, but maybe they are kind of in the same area as you when it comes to their projects. We all have different strengths, right? Some people are more creative. I was looking into video game development recently, and there are different parts. There's the artist, there's the coder, there's the person that is like functionality and how that game comes together, like what's clicked on and what occurs at that time, right? I don't know what that's called, but we have this in life and we don't have to do it alone. We're told that we can be collaborative, that we can work together. So think about that in your life. Where would that be to be more collaborative? I once got a whole bunch of neighbors together and I was like, we don't all need lawnmowers, you know? Like the actual mower. Why do we all have our own mowers? Why do we all have our own trimmers? Why do we all have our own Wi-Fi? Because Wi-Fi can actually be reached from one house to another. And there's always a thing about devices these days, but I collaborated with those neighbors at the time, and I was like, I got an idea, guys, because one person's trimmer had died, another person's mower had died, and then we were kind of like helping each other out by borrowing, and I was like, what if, just saying, what if we share? What if we share that responsibility? One person stores each item, and when we need it, we just do the code on the person's garage door, we get the mower, we mow our lawn, and we clean it and we put it back. There's a responsibility to it, making sure that it's not all gucked up, that we take care of it together, right? This is a way that you can be collaborative in your daily lives. Another person, I was like, why don't we share Wi-Fi? Do you want to do that? I'll just pay you half the portion for Wi-Fi. And we did that for a very long time until I got a hot tub, and there were all these other things happening where apparently the hot tub has signal and you can get Wi-Fi there. So just an example, how to apply collaboration in practicality, in your practical life, right? All right. I'm so glad you guys joined me. I'm so glad I decided to come on a second time on live. Sometimes that happens, by the way. Are there any other questions before I sign off? Let's see. Okay, no more questions. Great. Well, enjoy your weekend, everyone, wherever you are in the earth plane, and join me again for 11:11 Pacific time. I will be taking tomorrow off, so join me on Monday, and yeah, be well, be magical, have fun, and as always, we are one. One breath, one heart, one voice. I love you, and enjoy your day. Mwah.